And we're back, YouTube. Thank you for tuning in. As always, I appreciate that. I would like to talk to you about the Steam summer sale that is coming to a close in a couple of days. I have not bought any game yet, but I think I will not be buying anything this time around. Now, I own a lot of Steam games, so I have a lot to play, and I just don't see a lot of items or games in the store that I would like to own. But I think that there's something else going on. I think that the actual Steam sale is nowadays is less interesting. Some years ago, Steam actually had a very interesting sale. There were items on the website that were really reduced in price, like 70, 80, or 90% for a small time frame. Those were those flash sales. But nowadays it seems like they kind of discount their whole catalog of games, but only to a certain point. By that I mean that I see a lot of games that are discounted like 30, 40, 20 something percent. There's still games that are really like reduced in price quite a lot, 70, 80%. But those games are pretty much the games you'll see every time around, like the Dishonored series, like Skyrim, all those games. So I feel that there's just less of a dynamic going on with this actual Steam sale. Another thing is that, the Steam storefront seems to be getting harder to use. Actually, it seems like I cannot find a game within a reasonable time frame with the search option in the Steam client. So it seems it's harder to find an actual game. You really need to be very specific about the name that you're actually looking for, and also the recommendations don't seem to add up for me. Now that could be because I own a lot of games, so the recommendations are all over the place because I play a lot of different sorts of games or different types of games. But still, I feel that these recommendations seem to be quite random. Also, Steam has sort of opened the floodgates in terms of who is able to publish their games on Steam. Everybody nowadays can get a game on Steam. Now, this is a problem, since if you have like 100 games in your store and 50 of those are actually good, you have 50% chance of finding something that's actually good or decent. But if you have thousands and thousands of games that are pretty much shovelware and asset flips, or bullshit games, it becomes harder and harder for the user to find that specific game. And this is especially true for indie games because they are just harder and harder to find. It's a game of numbers. If you have so many games, it's just going to be harder to find that specific game. And added with the fact that Steam does not really innovate their platform. The Steam client or the Steam app is pretty much the same, is not really that much updated in terms of user friendliness or how it, they don't add new stuff or new functionalities. I feel that it's just not as good anymore as it was. So that's what I think, and it's quite unfortunate because Steam used to be quite good, and it's basically the only PC platform, and that makes Valve a monopolist, really, because most of the games are sold through Valve. Maybe also some on GOG.com, but we're talking about new games, we're talking about new and big releases, then Steam is the place to go. So this is what I think of Steam nowadays. Let me know what you think. Am I talking nonsense, or is this something that you also noticed? Let me know. I could be wrong. So let's share some of your thoughts. I appreciate that. Thank you.